As this practical, we are going to see how to draw the ER diagram through Dia software. Now see, the Dia software is one of the example that we can use to draw the ER diagram, but it is not compulsory that you have to use the same one. So many e-drawing softwares are available to draw the diagrams, UML related diagrams. So that software also you can use. But we are using Dia, it is open source software. Along with that, this software easily available. So 0.97 version is there, 0.97 version is there. So I am going to show you how to install this Dia software. So click on the, as we normally install any other software, double click on it, say OK, next, next, and program files, it will be stored, the Dia. Its size is also small. Different versions are available. If you try to search this, already I have given the link for this setup on the Moodle. Through that you can uh, install it. Or if you want to search it on the Google, you can search as a Dia. You will get so many different versions, and from that you can download it. So here all programs you can see Dia is installed here. So this Dia shortcut is available. Click on it and this window will open. Dia software or Dia diagram editor window will open. Okay, so that is the actual window where we are going to draw a diagram. You can observe here, this is a big window on which we are going to draw a diagram. Now, with this Dia software, not only ER diagram you can draw, not only database related diagram you can draw so many different types of diagrams. So, click on this flowchart here, you can see by default flowchart you can see, and other sheets. So, here you can observe this kind of different kind of diagrams you can draw with the Dia software. You can draw the UML diagrams, then you can draw circuit diagrams, then network, switch, civil related diagram you can draw here. Chemical engineering related diagram you can draw with this software, database, ER, electric related diagram. Normal flowcharts, you know, we studied in C++ flowchart. So that flowchart also you can draw with this software. So many diagrams you can, UML diagrams, now you are studying or you already studied software engineering, project management, that diagram also you can draw with this software. But this is not a single software. This software is so many other softwares are also available. With that softwares you can draw the ER diagram. So there are two options here in this ER and database. So as the notations we used from the 6th edition, see in the previous 4th edition different notations were there, or when you search on the internet there are two kind of notation to draw the ER diagram. In our notation that we studied according to our book is that the entity set is a divided rectangle. Okay, entity set is a divided rectangle. It is shown here with this one. So this entity set is a divided rectangle. First part has the name of the entity and the remaining part is the name of the attributes. The primary key is underlined. In this way we show the entity set. But previously, if you go through the 4th edition or 5th edition book or on the internet, if you search for any kind of diagrams, what it happens in that entity set is represented as a single rectangle, and for that rectangle, 1 minute, I will show. For that rectangle, the ellipse is used as an attribute. So you can see when I click on it shows as an attribute and this is entity. So that and it is linked with the simple lines in this way. So that is one of the method to draw the ER diagram. But as per the 6th edition, the entity set is shown as a divided rectangle and that's why we are not going to use this one. We are going to use database. We are going to use database. This one also we required for double total participation. This line we require. So database. Now here in this we are going to see a simple diagram. How to draw a simple diagram in this diagram editor. So start with simple entity set. Start with click on this and click here that table or the diagram will appear, that symbol will appear, or you can drag and drop here. Both the options are there, drag and drop. Now this one, click on it, double click on it, it open the properties, or right click on it and say open properties. Anyone, double click or right click. So name of the table I give here, I am going to draw the first and the simple one, that is instructor. Name of the entity set instructor. Now underline the primary key. This option we are going to choose here. Here another option is there, use bold font for primary key. If you want, you can choose it. Comment, if you want to give the comment visible, show documentation tag, etc. Attributes. Now we want to add the attributes to this. So new, click on the new and give the name of the attributes, that ID, instructor ID. Then is it a primary key? Yes, it is a primary key. So once I choose it as a primary key, you can observe here these two values, nullable and unique, it becomes disable. Why? Because once you choose it as a primary key, it should not be null value and it should be unique value. So it possesses both the properties. Any attribute that is a primary key, it possesses both the properties, nullable and unique, and that's why these two you can see here automatically disables if I choose it as a primary key. Then along with that, the next if I want to delete it, you can use the select it and delete it. If you want to move up, move down, you can do it. I will show you. The next one is the, suppose I enter here department name. This is not a primary key. If you want nullable, not nullable, so that you can enter here, choose here. So if I click on this one, I disable this one, uncheck this one. So you can observe this is not null. Means you have to enter some value for the department name. Null is not allowed. After that, new, name of that one, instructor. Again I say nullable, not null. Now I want to move up. So move up, name comes here, department name comes down, move down, name comes down, department name comes up. So if any changes you want to do, you can do it. Now the new, that is salary. See here we are going to draw only the diagram. We are not going to actually create the tables, and that's why type and integer, float, that we are not going to consider here. We are going to draw only the diagram. So salary. After that, style. So 4 attributes we have added. ID, we choose it as a primary key. Then name, we choose as a not null. Department name, we choose that is a not null. Now salary, I have not unchecked it, and that's why salary value we can enter as a null value, allowed. Then style. Here the style is given, that border width you can choose, change, you can change the border width as you want. You can change the font. Different fonts are here. Monospace is the by default font that you can change. Then text color also you can change. Text Foreground, background, if you want to change, you can change it. More colors are available. Okay, apply, you can see here. I have changed text color, background color, it is not changed. I will apply it and say okay. Apply. So background color also change here. Foreground color, if you want, you can change. Text color, you can change, etc. And once I say apply and okay, then you can observe this is the instructor entity with IID as a primary key. That's why it is underlined. Name, department name and salary. These are the attributes of this entity. So I am going to show it here again another example. So table name or the entity name we are going to give as a student. Along with that, again underline the primary key. If I use bold for primary key, it is also allowed. Now the attribute new, give the name of the attribute SID. It is a primary key, choose it as a primary key. New, name of the student, I want to say it is a not null value, so choose it, it becomes not null. New, department name of the student, I again say it is a not null. New, credits, and next I want to change the style. Again the normal name, all these fonts I can change here. So many fonts as we see in the all fonts in our text document. In the same way the fonts are available here for comment, for name. If you want bold, size of the font also you can change. Border style you can change. uh, okay, again the text color I choose here different color. Foreground, background colors you can change here. Foreground, background color. Apply. Okay, so you can see here. So student entity we create here, one instructor entity is create here. Now we need to add the relationship set between these two. Now for relationship set we need the diamond. So diamond is available in the ER diagram. So take this diamond, click here, or you can drag and drop. So relationship set. Now again double click on it, give the name. Advisor is the name of that one. Again here left cardinality, right cardinality, that L and H value. If you want to give L and H, suppose I write here 1 1. Okay, if you want to rotate, you can rotate it. Whether it is an identifying diamond means what? It is a relationship between a strong and weak entity. Say here S for identifying relationship set. Line width, okay, the line width also, this one you can change the line width. You can minimize it or in maximize it. Line color you can change here. Then fill color, okay, fill color also you can change here. Again the font you can change here, normal, bold, italic. Bold, italic, in this way you can change here. Font size you can change here. If you want to increase, you can decrease, whatever you want. Apply. Okay, so one to one cardinality you can see here, but we are not using it. We are going to use directly the arrows. Apply. Okay, so this is the relation between the advisor, is the relation between the instructor and the student. Now we are going to link it with this one using the lines. Using the lines. So this line you can use. Add it here in this way. Drag and drop only. Double click on it. Okay. Whether it is a total S. So instead of that it is total, you can use it. Now instructor participation is not total. So I use it afterwards. So simple line I am going to use it here. Okay, from here I have taken this symbol, simple line. Now arrow is either towards the instructor or towards the student. There never draw an arrow towards the relationship set. So I need to change the direction of this arrow. If it is one to many, means one instructor many student, then arrow towards the instructor we need. So start arrow and end arrow. That time end arrow I am going to change it to the start arrow. Along with that line width you can change. You can increase the size of this arrow. You can change the color of this arrow. Me arrow or line link. Then here size of this line you can change here, gap, etc. Apply. Okay. So you can observe from here to here there is a line or link which link this relationship set advisor with the instructor. Arrow indicates one instructor, many students. So many students means you need a single line without arrow. So double click on it, change this arrow, apply. Okay. So that is, it is a one to many from the instructor towards the student. One instructor, many student, but one student associated with at most one instructor. It is shown with this simple ER diagram. Now, if this advisor has or this student is total participation, every student associated with at least one instructor through the advisor relation means participation of the student is total. So, in that case, delete it. Take this one for total participation. Click on it. Double click on it. It opens the properties. Total S, apply. Okay, you can see automatically it comes with the double line indicating that participation of the student in the instructor through this advisor relation is total participation. In the same way, if the advisor has its own attributes, take this simple one. Actually, it is entity, but we take it as an attribute, descriptive attribute. Click on it, take change its name, date, apply. Okay. Now, how we attach it? For this, we link to the advisor relation through the dotted line. So, take this line, simple line, double click on it, change it, no arrows, simple, but the line style we need to change. It is a dashed line, apply. Okay. So, advisor has a descriptive attribute, that is a date. In this way, we can draw a simple ER diagram according to our 6th edition book. But previously, again I am repeating, a previous book in ER diagram for entity regular rectangle is used. Same we can show in another way. I will show that one also. Entity, I double click on it. Name of the entity is instructor. I am showing you both the way. It is not compulsory that you have to use this first way, but according to our book, use the first way. Otherwise, you will confuse. So whether it is a weak entity set, whether it is associative, line width, line color, that you can change here, fill color, font size, type, etc. You can change, apply. Okay. So this is the instructor entity. This entity has 4 attributes. So I need here 4 ellipse. To show the attributes of that entity. Okay. So first attribute is ID. Whether it is a key, yes, it is a key. Whether it is a weak key, no, it is not a weak key, it is a strong key. Then whether it is a derived attribute, whether it is a multi-valued attribute, line width, line size, font color, that also you can change, apply. Okay. So now you can see I choose it as a primary key and that's why it is underline, solid underline. Now second attribute is a name. Suppose I write it is a derived attribute. I am going to check what happens. What happens here? In this way. Dash the circle. If I choose that is a multi-valued attribute, then double ellipse. If I choose that is a weak key, then underline with the dashed, indicating the discriminator of weak entity set. But it is not there. It is a normal attribute. Apply. Okay. Then department name. Again key, weak key, derived key, multi-valued attribute apply. Okay. Some of the notations are different in previous way to draw the ER diagram and the new way to draw the ER diagram. In the new way, the derived attribute we show with the bracket age. After that, we show a empty bracket indicating it is derived. Multi-valued attribute, we write that multi-valued attribute in curly bracket. But it is not there in the previous way to draw the ER diagram. You can directly choose here whether it is a derived and multi-valued. If it is a derived, then dashed ellipse will be there. If it is a multi-valued, then double ellipse will be there. Then the next attribute is salary. Apply. Okay. Now connect it with the lines. Simple line. No arrow is there. Nothing is there. Change it. Make it simple. Line width we can change. It is big one. Arrow. Apply. Okay. So in this way. See, on your own, you can try the different things also. I am showing some of the properties of it. You can change it. You can try on your end some experiment like what you can do and how the diagram becomes very good. Okay. So in this way, the remaining part is same. This relation as it is here. This student also you can draw with student ID and all these things. This is the second way to draw the ER diagram. Now the next thing, how to save it. Because you have to draw the ER diagram. For example, I have given some statements. We are going to discuss that statement also. So that statements you have to create the ER diagram and you have to save it and upload that as an assignment submission. So to save it, file, save as. So location you can choose where you want to save it. Suppose I choose the location desktop or any other location, your pen drive, your D drive, where you want to save, you can save it. D drive, suppose I choose here D drive and it save as a .dia. So you can give the name. I give the name instructor student or university city.dia. So the by default extension is .dia. Where you want to save, you can save. I will use desktop and say save. It is saved. Now I am going to close it. It is here on the desktop. Double click on it. It will open. So that will open here. Again, if you want to do any modifications here, you can do it here directly. And this .dia file you have to upload as a assignment submission for the first assignment. Now see, the simple one I have shown you, instructor and the student. Now suppose weak entity set. Now I am going to show you regarding the weak and strong entity set. So I choose here the first entity as a course, second entity as a section. Arrows are here also. The arrows and this attribute compound. Then references. If you want to give the schema diagram, we need references. Means department name. From where the department comes, it is from the department. So from that we need to use this as a reference in the schema diagram. That is your second assignment. So double click on this, give the name as a course, uh, underline the primary keys. If you want to use bold for primary key, attributes, new section. In the section, no, sorry, course ID is there. It's a primary key. Yes, it is a primary key. New title of the course. If you want it, make it nullable. New credits for that course. Okay. Course attributes. Style again, if you want to change the text color, text style, whatever you want to change, you can change it. Foreground, background color, apply. Okay. So here you can observe course ID is underlined with bold and the course is the entity. Similarly, I click on it. Its name is section. Then don't underline here the primary key. Why? Because it does not have a primary key. It has a discriminator. So add a new attribute. The attribute is for section ID. Section ID is the first attribute. Make it not nullable. Then new semester for which that section for which semester it is. Semester. Then next one year. Okay. Style you can change here. Apply. Okay. But here section is the weak entity set, that we know that. Section ID is the, or all these are discriminators of this weak entity set. Means all these are underlined with dashed. So in this case I choose this dash line here. A simple line. Change its style to dashed. Change this arrow. Make it simple line. Apply. OK. And this is, in this way you can use it. Take it here. Line style dashed. Okay. So this one, pick up it here. Again, the year is also discriminator. I think minimum is 0.10. Less than it. Apply. Okay. Arrow, I need to change it. So, indicating that it is a weak entity set and all these three attributes are discriminator. Now, diamond. Double click on it. Identifying as the name of between this section course is the name of this relation. Double click on identifying relation S, width and all these, apply. Okay, so double diamond is there. Again, link. Now there are mainly uh, three properties when it is a identifying relation between a strong entity set and weak entity set. Right? It depends upon the strong entity set, the relation between these two, we call it as identifying relation. So when it is identifying relation, it is shown with the double diamond and it possesses three properties. The identifying relation, it possesses three properties. Which are these three properties it possesses? The first property is that it is always many to one from the weak entity set to the strong entity set. It is always many to one from weak entity set to the strong entity set. So many to one means from section to course. Now it is one. That's why I use the arrow line. Okay. Many to one. This is the first property of identifying relation. The second property of identifying relation is that the participation of weak entity set is always total. The participation of weak entity set is always total. So double click on it. Say as apply. Okay. So double line. And the third property is that the identifying relation should not have its own descriptive attribute. The identifying relation should not have its own descriptive attribute. So these three properties always possessed by a identifying relation. The first is that it is always many to one from the weak entity set to the strong entity set. The participation of weak entity set is always total and the identifying relation does not have its own descriptive attributes. That is about drawing an ER diagram with the notation I taught in the class. So, in this, four questions are there, four problem statements are there for which you have to draw the ER diagram. So, what is the first question? I am going to read it. Construct an ER diagram for car insurance company whose customers own one or more cars each. Construct an ER diagram for a car insurance company whose customers own one or more cars each. Each car has associated with it zero or any number of recorded accidents. So that one is given. Now when you draw the ER diagram, it is not necessary that everyone draw in the same way. Because person wise thinking may change. Why? Because here actual entity sets are not given. Relationship sets are not given. Only you have to draw according to the problem statement. So what problem statement is given here? I am going to read it again. Construct an ER diagram for a car insurance company whose customers own one or more cars. Each car has associated with it zero or any number of accidents. Now, when we draw the ER diagram, first thing is that identify the entities or entity sets for it. Then, for the each and every entity, what attributes we need to add. Now here, try to add the attributes which are mostly required. Because so many attributes you can add there, but mostly required attributes only add it here. And then after finalizing the entity as and their attributes, then find out the relationship between that entities. Now, for this, the first entity that we identified is customer. So, I and that person, the customer, has attributes. See, again I am explaining this, not necessary that everyone think in the same way, but we need to fulfill the requirement given in the problem statement at least. So customer, here I can use driving license or license number. Okay. Then name is important here, which is not null for the customer. Now it is related to the accident of a car, and that's why the age is also important. Here we are not going to insert all the attributes. If you consider a person or the customer, license number, name, age, address, phone number, so many things you can add, but the required one we are adding here, age, and as it is related to the accident, address must be there. So this is the customer. We select one entity with these attributes. Now I choose another one, that entity here I feel it is required, that is car. Now for car, as we discussed, car is the entity with the attributes. The first and the primary key, which one we can use as a primary for car, is the car number, which is always unique. So instead of using chassis number, it is also unique, but the car number, it is simple to remember and everyone knows his own car number. So we use primary key as a car number. Then model is important and year of manufacture is important in the car. Okay, year of manufacturing is important when we consider it is a accident related thing. Now along with this, I draw here simple line as a primary key, license number, then okay, so this one. Now the third one is accident. It is a data related to the accident. So I say here accident is another entity. And the attributes for the accident. Now when we consider the accident, the report number is important and it is unique for each and every accident. The report number is, we can say it is unique and use it as a primary key, that is report number. Then location of accident is important when we consider it, and the date, or you can add time also, time of accident. So only the required attributes we consider here. Now what is the relation between these? So the relation between these, first I draw a relation between the customer and the car is owner, or we can say own. Own is the name of the relation we can add. This customer owns these cars. Okay. Here difficult to draw, but I am trying to draw it. It is the customer to car. Now it is one to many relation. You can say one customer may have multiple cars. So it may be one to many. You can draw here the arrow. You can draw here the arrow indicating one customer, many cars. Now between these again three, there is a ternary relation. that we call as a, you can give any name. I write here participate. What participated or participate, I give here the name. It is a ternary relation between all these three. This customer participate in this accident with this car. Even if the customer has multiple cars, it is not necessary that all cars participate in that accident. So we can say it is a ternary relation between the customer, car and accident. This accident is done by with this customer for this particular car, or this customer participate in that accident with this car number, model number, whatever. That is the simple way we can draw an ER diagram. For this first assignment, it is not expected from you that you go in detail for each and every one, because we are doing PBL project, and in that all the details you are going to implement. But here only sake of your understanding, we try to draw these ER diagrams. So construct an ER diagram for bank database with following entity set and relationship set given. The entity sets and their attributes below with the primary keys are underlined. Means in this, the entity sets and relationship sets are given. You know, or only draw the ER diagram. Now, here 6 entity sets are given here. First one is the branch with branch name, branch city and assets. As a branch name is the primary key. Customer name is the primary key in the customer. Account number is the primary key in account. Loan number is the primary key in loan. Then payment. With payment number, payment date, payment amount, and it is given here that it is a weak entity which depends upon the loan. Means these are the payments made against this loan. And that's why it is a weak entity. Then employee with employee name and all the details of employee. Now the relationship set are given. Depositor. So how to understand it is a relation between which two entity sets? So when we consider depositor, two attributes are given here, customer name and account number. So it indicates that it is a relation between customer and the account. Depositor is a relation between customer and account, because customer name is the primary key of customer and account number is the primary key of account. Means it is a relation between the customer and account. Now both are underlined. Means what? Both are underlined here. Both the primary keys are, both the attributes are underlined here. As both the primary key, both the attributes are primary keys, it is a many to many from account to the customer. One account, multiple customers, one customers may have multiple accounts. Similarly, next one, borrower, customer name, loan, both are underlined, means again it is many to many from customer to loan. One customer, multiple loans, means I have a car loan, I have a home loan, personal loan in a bank. It is possible. Or one loan may be held by more than one customer. Joint customers are always there in the bank. Then loan branch. Okay. With loan number and branch name, means it is a relation between loan and branch. It is a relation between loan and branch. But here only underline is for loan number. It may be one to one, because in one to one what happens here, see, one to one anyone becomes the primary key. Now it is our understanding is important here. We need to know about the again requirement analysis. Here loan number is underlined, means many is toward the loan. Okay. So it is many to one from loan to branch. One branch, multiple loans are there. One branch, multiple loans are there, but one loan is associated with one branch only. One loan is associated with one branch only. So it is many to one from loan to branch, or you can say one to many from branch to loan. Similarly, account branch. Account number is only underlined. So it is not one to one. One branch, one account is not there. But one branch, multiple accounts are there. And one account is associated with one branch only. That's why it is many to one from account to branch, or you can say one to many from branch to account. Now loan payment, it is a weak or identifying relation, customer, banker. So in this way, these entities and relationship sets are given here for four problem statements are there.